with University Cafe, Open Distance E-Learning Center platform. The course code is PAD215, which is Local Government Administrations. This is study section 5. Under the study section 5, we try to advance or describe the major problems of local government. I, the presenter, I am Dr. Isa Ibrahim Salisu, Department of Public Administration, as well as University Cafe. This study section 5 try to examine the problems of local government in Nigeria. Under the learning outcomes, at the end of this study section, you should be able to understand some major problems of local governments in Nigeria applicable. Then 2, explain 2 problems of the local governments. Then you can be able to explain the sustainable reform that promote inclusive and resilient local governance in Nigeria. Under the introductions, having learned the various theories, as introductions, various theories of local government in study section 1, which has to do with service delivery, development theory, the principle of development and accountability theory, and so on and so forth. We should now focus on the problems and challenges of local governments. Local government in Nigeria has undergone various reforms right from 1960s to today. But despite these various reforms came on board as a result of massive problems and challenges that were bedeviled by most of local government established in Nigeria. This is because the successive administration have not failed to cite local government as a relying point of national mobilization and veritable instrument for rural transformations. Despite these awful efforts, the uncontestable reality on ground is that Nigerian local government has failed to be a mobilizer of the mass and viable instrument of rural transformations. Problems of local government. In spite of the various system of local government that has been experimented upon via numerous and constant reforms, and despite the fact that successive government in Nigeria have not failed to cite the local government as a relying point of national mobilization and veritable instrument for rural transformations, there are a lot of problems and challenges that bedevil local government in Nigeria. And these problems and challenges make local governments not to be able to achieve their major mandate of being a promoting social transformation and development in Nigeria. The problems of local government in Nigeria are as follows. We have the structure, we have finances, we have staffing, we have functions, we have institutionalized corrupt practices, we have institutionalized corrupt practices, and so on and so forth. In those notes, we are going to look at some major problems of local government in Nigeria, which has to do with number 1, the structure. Under the structure, Nigeria operates a single-tier multipurpose local government system. The 2 major characteristics of the existing local government are largeness and uniformity of local government areas throughout the federations. What we are saying by this is the size of local government system in Nigeria is too large in size, and one of the major issues of the structure of local government are uniform. All over 774 local government we have in Nigeria are all having the same structure and the same size. As a result of this uniformity of local government in Nigeria, this makes the system to become cumbersome in operating in major areas of major territorial boundaries of Nigeria, as a result of differences in terms of political, traditional, social structure, and other diversities exist in Nigeria, and this makes the system to be more cumbersome and more challenging in dealing with so many issues that has to do with development and transformation of social mobilizers in the system. As a result of this diversification, or as a result of these diversities exist in Nigeria, it is not realistic to say, okay, the same structure of local government operate among the 774 local government in Nigeria. We have different diversities in terms of religion, in terms of traditional, in terms of ethnic sentiment and ethnic realities. So with this, it's becoming a pertinent problem that exists. That makes it very, very difficult to to operate in Nigerian system. The second part of problems of local government in Nigeria is finances. We all know finance is one of the major obstacles of local government in Nigeria. It is believed local government in Nigeria have 2 sources of finances. We have the internal sources of finances, and we have the external sources of finances. In terms of internal sources of finance, which has to do with the internal revenue, this is made up of property rates, market rate, motor park rate, fees, motor park fees, local license fees, bicycle fees, canoe fees, and wheelbarrow license fees. And we have the other source which has to do with the external source of finances, which has to do with constitutional mandatory statutory allocation of 25% of various local government and federations accounts. With these two sources of local government revenue, sources of finance, it makes the local government very, very reliant on federation account, because when we look at the internal source of revenue, most of this local government in Nigeria, they find it very, very difficult to generate revenue when it comes to generations of revenue. So lack of finance become a major problem in local government administration system in Nigeria, because it is expected that the government, existing government, and independent and autonomous government, it is expected to mobilize its own revenue and in order to champion the act of major responsibilities of local government administration in Nigeria by providing equitable, by providing a lot of social services, social amenities to the rural dwellers of such particular areas. The third part of the problem is staffing. Staffing is one of the major problems of local government in Nigeria. The function assigned to local government and the third tier of government are diverse and numerous and complex, requiring adequate, well-qualified and experienced professional and technicians or administrator and artisan. Those staffing, equitable and experienced qualified staff, they make local government to provide its services more effective and more efficiencies. If you look at local government system in Nigeria, we find out that the nature of the staffing in local government is too rudimentary. We experience a lot of issues that have to do with unqualified staff, lack of technical knowledge, lack of professionals that will handle various activities of the local government system. And it's becoming a problem in this system, as the third tier of government that is having the mandate of providing effective and efficient service delivery. There is a need to have equitable and qualified staff and technicians, well experienced, that will handle the activities of local government for effective and efficient service delivery. Local government lack competent and adequate, honest and patriotic staff that will carry out the activities of the various basic functions and responsibilities of local government. Another problems of local government is the function itself. The functions assigned to local government in Nigeria are admittedly enormous in scope and diverse in outlook. In fact, it is beyond the capacity of local government, hence they are unable to perform all their functions due to inadequate funds and how executive capacity, inappropriate structural and organizational pattern, which tend to be inhibit rather than promote full participation of the people in the local area. So the function assigned to local government in Nigeria is somehow too cumbersome for the local government to perform such particular functions as a result of lack of bureaucrat, qualified staff, and including even financing itself that will promote the activities of the local government system. So by the functions of local government, it makes it very, 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 very ineffective for local government to operate in order to provide effective and efficient service delivery. Another part of the problem of the local government system is institutional corrupt practices. We believe public service is being tagged as with a lot of abnormalities, and one of the abnormalities is corruption, fraud, and embezzlement of funds all over. It is believed, based on the structural system of local government system, not even local government system, a public sector organization in Nigeria is being tagged with institutionalized corrupt practices. We see a lot of corrupt practices that took place in local government system. It is a believed fact that local government rely on internal and external generation revenue. But with this, you find out that even at the internal generated revenue, you find out that there is no revenue. Why? Because the local government officials cannot account for the internal generated revenue as a result of massive corrupt practice, institutional corrupt practice experience in the local government system. This is what makes the local government ineffective in terms of generating internal generated revenue that will champion the course of action in providing effective and efficient service delivery within the local government system. So institutional corrupt practices is becoming a major obstacles, a major problems in the operations of local government system in Nigeria. Then we have the nature of local government services. Some of the functions of local government are very costly social service which do not yield and significant revenue. These include primary educations, health service, provision of homes and restroom, construction and maintenance of roads and bridges, to mention a few. With these are services provided by local government system. In primary, anything about local government system, about primary healthcare system, primary educational system, providing of homes and restroom, construction or maintenance of roads and bridges, including even rural electrification project. And with this, you find out that as a result of inavailability of finance and funding of local government system, they find it very difficult in providing such particular services, because the services being provided by local government are more costly affected in terms of services. And with lack of financing and funding of local government system, how effective the local government can be able to provide the primary education system, healthcare service delivery that accounted with a lot of millions and billions of naira that's supposed to be injected into health services, and provision of even testing home and construction of maintenance of roads and bridges. This accounted with a lot of amount of money that is expected to be injected in order to take care of such services. And with this is becoming a problem in terms of the operations of local government system in Nigeria. Then another one is difficult internal revenue sources. The internal revenue sources of local government are generally poor, inelastic, and very difficult to collect. Sometimes the expenditure of revenue from a particular revenue sources will exceed the expected proceed from the revenue sources. With this, we found out that is alarming and is a very negative scenario. While the cost of generating revenue will be higher than the cost that is expenditure in generating revenue is higher than what is expected to be generated, meaning we operate in a drastic elastic situation. And with it, is becoming a problem to a point that we cannot be even generate a single penny in generating the revenue that we are expected with the local government system. With these difficult internal revenue sources, it's becoming a very pertinent and difficult for local government to strengthen and mobilize and generate the revenue that is expected to take care of some developmental project and provided some effective and efficient service delivery within the local government system. These are the major issues that has to do surrounding. These are some of the major problems that is surrounding with the problems or with the challenges of local government system in Nigeria. We may have more and more problems that can be easily been assessed, but due to this particular class, we mentioned these are the very few and important problems of local government system in Nigeria. Now we are going to look at sustainable reforms that promote inclusive and resilient local governments. Sustainable reforms that promote inclusive and resilient local governance encompass a range of strategies and approaches aimed at addressing the challenges faced by local government while fostering long-term sustainability, equity, and responsiveness. Some key reforms include: 1. We have strengthening financial management. 2. We have enhancing citizen engagement. 3. We have investing in infrastructure and service delivery. 4. We have promoting social inclusion and equity. 5. We have building capacity and institutional resilience. Then 6. We have promoting sustainable development and environmental stewardship. Then 7. We have fostering intersectoral collaboration and multi-level governance. Summary of study section 5. In this study section 5, you have learned that local government faces various challenges and problems that can be hindered its effectiveness and hindered the service being delivered by the local government system. Then the second part of the summary is some of the challenges can be as a result of leadership, some as a result of corruption, can be as a result of structure and administration. In fact, even funding and financing are the major equitable problems of local government system in Nigeria. The third summary is: by implementing this sustainable reform, local government can enhance their capacity to address pressing challenges, promote inclusive and resilient development, and improve the well-being and quality of life for all residents, both now and in the future. Thank you very much for listening to this very few incitation. Thank you.